Let's create another file, another Cocoa Touch class, and this is again a table view controller subclass, and we're going to call this edit profile table view controller. Click create, and now I can go to my storyboard and I can set the controller of this view to be my edit profile. Hit enter, and now we can do our connections. So let's open our assistant editor, and we are going to do that by opening the left panel option, click on our newly created file, and on the top here I'm going to put some mark IB outlets, and here let's do the connections. So we have our avatar image view, then we have our status label, which is the one here, and also we have this username text field. Okay, we have three things here to connect, and that's it. I'm going to close this, but before we move forward, just select the table view. Let's set also these colors for our background color. I will choose this table view background. And what else we need here? Looks like nothing. I can go to my edit profile. Let's get rid of all this boilerplate code because we're not going to use any of this. Whatever we need, we can add manually. So we have only our view did load. I'm going to put a mark view life cycle. And in order to be able to see this view, we are going to go to our settings. And here we are going to implement one more function under our table view delegate. And this is did select row at index path. Make sure you call did select and not did deselect, because that the second one is called when the cell is deselected. So whenever our user selects a cell, we want to deselect that cell. So I will say table view deselect row at index path animated true. And then what we want to do is to call our segue so we can go to our edit profile view. So let's see how we're going to do it. First, we want to make sure that our user is tapping our cell, which is this cell. So this is the index path 0, cell number 0. So I will say if section, which is the index path, we will say if index path dot section is equals to 0 and we say index path dot row is equals to 0. So we are on our first cell. I'm going to say perform segue with identifier, and I will paste my identifier here. And the sender is gonna be self. This doesn't really matter. So we are just telling that we want to perform this segue. So now, if I go to my edit profile view, in my view did load, I want to say table view dot table view footer view is equals to UI view. So this will get rid of empty cells. So by running now, we should be able to get from our settings to our edit profile. So let me first log in. Now let's go to our settings, and if I click any of the other cells, nothing should happen. Oh, damn it. I logged out. And if I click on my first cell, we are getting here, and I have set my table view background, which is set correctly. We don't have any extra cells. And what I want to do is also get rid of these ugly titles. So the lazy thing to do would be just come and copy this function and paste it here. We say mark table view delegate, and we paste it here. And then let's try this. When I put some information, you see that this button appears. By clicking it, it just deletes everything. And also our done button is, a return button is called done. So this is another good thing, it's working. All the cells are selectable now, so this is not something we want to do. Let's fix that. We want our user to be able to select only the last cell. So this one, selection none. Second one, selection none. And the last one, we want to be able to select that. And the label here, by default, we're going to set it to whatever our current status is. So we are going to do, let's see, we have our view lifecycle. And when our user opens our edit profile, apart from getting rid of these, we want to do this setup. So we want to show our user information the same way we were doing with this view here. We want to do the same here. So let's call a function show user info, and we're going to write this function. Let's go ahead and do it. Mark update UI private func show user info. Right, and again we check if let user is equals to user current user, and if we have a user, I will say username text field dot text is equals to user.username. Then we will say status label.text is equals to user.status. And finally, for the avatar, we will say if user.avatar link is not equals to empty string, I'm going to set avatar. All right, so we are doing almost same thing that we had previously, but with the only difference is that here all these things are editable. So our user can come here and change the username. And also the user can choose these different labels. So let's do one thing here. I'm going to run, and we're going to check if this is working. So we have our username and the label here set properly. And the next thing would be to actually change this status. So what we want to do is whenever our user, let's go here, clicks on this cell here, we will show it with all the available statuses that our user can choose from. And then by just taking the tick, we will save this new status and show it here. So for this, we're going to use another view, another table view actually, to show all these available statuses. But to have them, we are going to first create all these available status, and we will save them so we have access every time we open them. And we need to remember which one was selected, because when I open it back, we want to select the exact same so we know which one is the current status, and then we choose a different one.